Now joined by political commentator Josie Pagani. Well, Josie, that was just a stunning reversal. I mean, we've all got whiplash. What on earth has gone on here?
Yeah, I mean, the political management of this has been a mess, whichever way you look at it, because there are basically three scenarios. Either they tried to sneak it through with a press release that purported to be all about lifting fringe benefit tax off public transport, or they didn't do the consultation well. This is a complete surprise to them. They didn't expect the fund manager, the finance sector to respond like this. Or the third option is that they don't actually have the courage to stand up for something that they actually think would level the playing field over who pays GST. So whichever way you look at it, either they're sneaky, either they're incompetent, or they're a shiver looking for a spine to run up and don't have the courage to fight for something they believe in. None of it's good.
No, none of that is good. And I think there's been a lot of anger, actually, that this change was sort of, it looks like it was trying to be snuck through without that public debate or the minister signalling it more widely. And that is a real problem for Labour, isn't it?
Yeah, it plays into the narrative of them being a bit secretive, a little bit sneaky, but it also plays into the narrative of them being a bit incompetent when it comes to implementing policy. Because actually, I think there's a good case to make for this piece of legislation, even if they don't want to make it now, which is that you do need a level playing field. So most service providers in our economy pay GST. So you go to the doctor, you go to the hairdresser, you hire someone to mow your lawn. Everybody's paying GST. Those service providers are paying GST. So you have to ask, is it fair that fund managers don't pay GST on the service they provide? Because don't forget, this is about GST not on our KiwiSaver fund itself, but on the fund managers who manage on our behalf, manage our KiwiSaver. So there's actually a good argument to make that this legislation made sense.
But it's one that they'll never be able to make now, is it? Because the opposition has jumped onto this issue, calling it a retirement tax, which is just political kryptonite, isn't it? A retirement tax.
Yes, and I mean, you know, you have to look at the National Party and look at their faux outrage with this. I mean, they called it a tax grab. Well, to be fair, every tax is a grab. I mean, that's the definition of tax, right? And also, you know, good luck to the National Party going into the election campaign with a bumper sticker that reads, fund managers must have a tax cut, because that's basically what they're saying. Because, I mean, there are cases to be made for an exemption in GST in our economy, but you'd have to say lifting GST off food or lifting GST off doctors' visits might be of more importance than lifting GST or not charging GST for fund managers. So, you know, politically, this is a bit difficult for the opposition too.
Josie, just an extraordinary day. And as usual, we really value your insight and your analysis. Thanks so much for joining us here at 8 o'clock.
Thanks, Rebecca.